Hello, ladies and gentlemen, people and intelligent beings. The inconvenient artifacts, the stone labyrinths of Bolshoy Zayatsky Island. There are truths that are inconvenient for modern science. On a cold, uninhabited island in the White Sea, Aegean Sea, there is an archaeological wonder that no official scientist seems interested in. While Britain's Stonehenge has been studied by hundreds of specialists, these stone labyrinths remain shrouded in obscurity. In the cold waters of Onega Bay, in Russia's White Sea, lies the windswept archipelago known as the Solovetsky Islands. The bleak landscape is sparsely populated, and the people who live there lead simple lives. Yet for many years, one of these islands has attracted attention because of its mysteries. This island is called Bolshoy Zayatsky. It is small in size, covering only 135 square kilometers. There is a hotel for pilgrims and tourists, a 16th century stone harbor, and a wooden church dedicated to Saint Andrew I, called I's late 17th, early 18th century. Tourists occasionally visit, but the island is practically uninhabited. There are no lakes, forests, swamps, or arable land. The ground is rocky, covered with moss and sparse shrubs. It is a place far removed from civilization, and centuries ago only fishermen stayed there. However, the presence of a large number of ancient stone labyrinths distinguishes the island from many similar uninhabited northern islands. Historians continue to debate who created these labyrinths, for what purpose, and why they were built in this forgotten place. There are a total of 13, according to other estimates 14, stone labyrinths believed to have been constructed during the Neolithic period, at least several thousand years ago. Some are large, up to 25 meters in diameter, while others measure only about 3 meters across. They are laid out in rounded patterns using large stones. Some labyrinth designs resemble two intertwined snakes, while others are arranged in a simpler fashion, but they all have only a single entrance and exit. Around the labyrinths are numerous additional piles of stones, whose purpose remains unknown. Once you enter a labyrinth and circle its center several times, you leave through the very same entrance. After a few turns, it becomes impossible to tell how far you have already walked and how much remains. Subjectively, time seems to stop. A large labyrinth takes about 15 minutes to complete on average. It is difficult to let your attention wander, because the path is narrow, forcing you to constantly watch your footing. The route twists clockwise and then counterclockwise. Very little is known about the labyrinths of Bolshoy Zayatsky, and even their exact age remains a matter of debate. It is known that the Solovetsky Islands have been inhabited since at least 5000 BC, and possibly even earlier. Although most researchers estimate the labyrinths to be between 500 and 3,000 years old, they could be far older. No one knows for certain. Their purpose is also shrouded in mystery, lost in the mists of time, giving rise to numerous theories. One theory suggests they served as a type of fish trap, but most of the labyrinths are located far enough from the shoreline that such a function seems unlikely. A second theory proposes an astronomical purpose. For example, that the labyrinths were used to calculate solstices or eclipses. A third theory suggests that the labyrinths were built as traps for evil spirits. The most intriguing theory proposes that these stone labyrinths served as a gateway, a boundary, or a transition point from one world to another, from the world of the living to the underworld of spirits, helping lost souls find their way to the other side. The stone labyrinths of Bolshoy Zayatsky are not unique in appearance. Similar structures can be found in Scandinavia, the British Isles, and the Novaya Zemlya archipelago. But could they all have been created by the same culture? If so, where did that culture first emerge? In Scandinavia or in the White Sea? Did the ancient builders travel from Bolshoy Zayatsky to the British Isles, or was it the other way around? Because of the difficulties involved in dating these stone labyrinths, these questions remain unanswered. Nowhere else in Russia is there such a large concentration of ancient stone labyrinths. Similar examples can only be found in Karelia and the Murmansk region, suggesting that the people who created them primarily traveled along the northern seas. And here we arrive at the legends of a land called Hyperborea, described by the ancient Greeks. Hyperborea translates as beyond the north wind. According to the legends, it was inhabited by the Hyperboreans, who were called one of the peoples and beloved by the gods. It was said that they descended from the Titans and lived joyful, immortal lives. The god Apollo regularly flew from Greece to Hyperborea, where he was honored and hymns were sung in his praise. Researchers still cannot determine what kind of people the ancient Greeks were referring to or where Hyperborea was actually located. At the same time, they completely reject the very possibility that an advanced civilization could have existed thousands of years ago in the northern seas. Perhaps because there are no surviving artifacts to confirm its existence, except for the stone labyrinths, of course. For some reason, however, no one has ever regarded them as the work of the Hyperboreans, and they have received virtually no serious study, even on Wikipedia. The article about the Bolshoy Zayatsky labyrinths consists of only a few paragraphs of non-informative text.